DC here. Hi guys and gals. Well, it's Thursday. It's lunch break, and I was realizing as I was checking the papers this week, but particularly this morning when I was browsing over the New York Times about the 40th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War. Now, it's one of the few wars where I feel somehow, not that I've been there or anything, I was a younger teenager. Well, no, I was 18 when it finished. That means I was in like my early teens and younger when it was really full blast. And living in a border town, as we did, near the Vermont border, and as I've said in other vlogs, basically, the United States was our backyard, our television stations, and my books, and so on. And since a lot of family were American, or binationals, Canadian and American somehow, well, it was there. It was omnipresent. And it was even more omnipresent because family members were involved. My cousin's husband did 2 hitches in Vietnam. I remember us getting letters. Not many, but we did get some. I've mentioned this before in vlogs over the past years, stained with mud from over there. It's not like we were extremely close to him, but I think he just needed to get things out, talk somehow to people. His wife was, what was it called again? Was it a whack? Anyway, she was in the Corps as well. And then her brother, so the one that I mentioned in a few vlogs, he was as well. Him, and then, well, later on his children, but that was the Iraq War. But he was there. Yeah, I don't know. He probably wasn't. He was not in Vietnam, but he was involved. He was a mechanic or something for planes. So he was probably on. I think he was on some ships. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What I'm just trying to get to is that it was something that was there all the time. We would ask, we would wonder how people were. Were they going to be off? Were they going to have to go? He came back. Why did he go back to Vietnam? Well, there was marital issues, I remember at the time, or something like that. Complicated. I think actually, if I remember correctly, my cousin might have been probably his second wife. Maybe they met between 2 hitches. I don't know. I don't remember right now. Other images of the war. Well, some are kind of half-half. A cousin of mine was a deserter. And that's not as simple as saying that right off. The guy was born somewhere in America. I guess that made him American. Was in Canada many years and got drafted somehow. Went over, as far as I know, he was in a Marine boot camp. And probably on a furlough or first time he came back to Canada. He was banned from going to the States for years, I remember that much, until amnesty came. And then I guess he did go back. In the village where we were, which was called Sutton, there was organic bakeries and stuff like that were taken over by draft dodgers, Americans that came over, and Canada didn't deport them. So they were there for many years, at least until I guess the amnesty came as well. So it was always there. And here I'm not talking about anything about the fighting and so on. I mean, of course we were aware of all this, but the whole human side of it, the emotions that would come into families when people would have to or maybe have to go, when the draft was called, when people went on their own, when women were involved, cousins and so on, dear cousins. I mean, they were at the time very dear cousins. And I say that in a way it's sad and nostalgic. I mean, they're all gone. I mean, they're not deceased, that's not what I mean, but they're far down into the south. And we just basically hear about them maybe every few years, but we have no contacts anymore. Yeah, the bonds sometimes over time, they loosen. And of course, well, here I am over in Switzerland, which is way far away. So yeah, one of my cousins, the one I was mentioning, who had him and his sons actually were served also later on. He must have been really close to retirement. I don't exactly know how that worked out. But anyway, I mean, or maybe it was his son and grandsons. I don't really know anymore. But yeah, he managed to get back in contact with me with a note at one point, which was nice. Yeah. Can you believe it? It's 40 years ago. I had been going out with Mrs. DC for 2 years then. Yeah. If it's in 75, yeah, it would have been 2 years we were going out together already. And it just seems like another time, doesn't it? The world has changed since then, hasn't it? But there's still wars, people are still fighting. So some things haven't changed, but the world has changed. Yeah, Vietnam, 40 years ago. Kind of a pensive lunch vlog. DC signing off. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.